Okay, so let's turn in... Oh, we needed 4, not 5. All right. Love that for me. Oh, never mind. I do need 5. I was... all I had. I see. Ooh, that reduced the strength of the sun. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, we can get some crockery at a bargain. Why not? Need some fuel. And while we're here, let's go ahead and attend a funeral. The funeral is a mix of gentle sobbing and clutching handkerchiefs and excitement. Stories from the depths of the high wilderness. You play your part, ensuring that a fellow traveler's life is remembered, instead of being lost to the winds far from home. Get ourselves our port report. Contemplate the dead sun. Go ahead and gather more visions of the heavens, even though we have so bloody many. Holy crab cakes. If we approach a deathless, entertain a request from the macabre counselor. Several footmen are on hand to escort you from the nave and through the oak paneled doors that lead you into the catacombs of silence, where the macabre counselor resides. Black candles burn in silver candelabras, fading tapestries molder on the walls. In glass cabinets, bones of saints and sinners are displayed with gloomy relish. I usually prefer pickle relish, but I mean, you do you. The macabre counselor is in a maudlin mood, regaling you with stories of her youth and musing wistfully on past regrets. I have only one worth mentioning. My daughter. The Empress saw fit to take her from me as a punishment, I suppose. She could be terribly petty, good Vicky. She examines you, speculatively. Wish to have my daughter returned to me. Fulfill this commission, and I shall bequeath upon you a great reward. Well, I mean, if it's going to tweak the nose of the queen. Why not? She is hostage at Purduance, kept to ensure my discretion. She hands you several charcoal sketches of her daughter, a pretty, presumptuous heiress with dark eyes, and a curly lock of her brown hair. I have an agent in place to assist and to conceal my daughter's escape. You will need invitations to access the half-light mask to effect a rescue. I only have 3 to hand. It is likely you will need to secure more. Your mind returns to your use of the word hostage. Odd choice. Purduance is said to be a place of endless delights, where children of society's elite dally in luxury. Surely it wouldn't be too much trouble to rescue one spoiled, presumptuous heiress from the lap of opulence, even if it is, as it were, the Empress's lap. Ambition Martyr King's Cup. I don't know what that is. That's right. I wanted to put that off for another time. Where's the thing that lets me reduce my terror? This is the memorial to the Prince Consort, maybe? Oh, I need some Immaculate Souls for the private viewing. I see. Where's the... Oh, I think I needed like 12 crew for the inter a deceased crew member thing. Shoot. Come on. I mean, I really need to get rid of my terror, but this is This is potato. 3 sovereigns for 1 terror. Let me do it in batches. All right. Shit. I mean, going back to London probably will have been enough time to reduce terror. If only I had access to my fucking bank. What if I try to speak with the macabre counselor? I fail is what happens. Oh, and we gain terror. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah, love that for me. Love that for me. All right. We can make it to London. Let's just go to London. So we'll have to go to London. We'll need to go to Whirlby to take care of our terror situation. Great. Hopefully we find some corpses to put to rest. Really the only other solution. Damn. Well, I guess we need something to increase our... Or I guess we just need another ship with more crew. I sure as heck prefer the large cargo hold over the large crew. Maybe we can reduce some terror off this. This elaborate memorial is carved with curses. Oh, my terror is not in a good state. So London should reduce, I think it's like 25 from visiting the main port of a region every 15 days. Trying to remember. Get to Whirlby. I believe there was one of using crockery. So I'll take some of that nostalgic crockery with me, I guess. Seems like a decent way to get in. There's also pursuance, so we do have that option as well, now that I think about it. Okay, so we stop here. You can drop off the... Yeah, we'll do that. We'll just keep the crockery. Right. And actually, we can keep the nectar. Just do a big loop north and around. Delivery crockery to the mausoleum now? Man. We'll let that simmer I'm not... I'm feeling salty. Dang it, I keep going to shops when I mean to go to stories. I need to go explore London. And then... Or not explore London, but I need to go to... Steam and Sapphire Yards. And that's where the bookkeeper is. Right. Cool. Let's get some of those pursuants. And get a couple more just in case. And then we can purchase some supplies. Okay. We'll go to Whirlby. We can drop off the Clockwork Sun priest guy's delivery while we're there as well. So yeah, visiting London, it did take down, yeah, it was about 25 terror, but I would prefer to get that closer to 0%. If I'm being honest. I'd say a lot of red, and I do not want to rely on getting events to take it. Like, well, here's one. All right, fine. Pay your respects. Failure? Okay. We're still... Terror went down. We just took damage, which is... dumb, but whatever. Whatever. Better than the terror going up instead. Okay. Go north-northwest until we get past that ridge. Then we could cut more east. What have we got? Check it, 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 choo, choo. And if we can get rid of all of our terror, we can go to the Sky Hen, or we can go, or we can get a Purduance and then this, or Sky Henge and then Purduance, actually. That's probably a better idea. You know what? I should have maybe taken the prospect to the mausoleum, since I need to go back there anyway for Scorn Fluke. That's the angry fucking sea urchin over there. Oh, come on. I don't know how dead it is. I think it might be close because it just did a double attack, so that seems like a change in pattern. Yeah. Ooh. Commune with the Scorn Fluke? Soothe the Scorn Fluke. Reach through its spines to touch its flesh. Croon assurances to it. You may be a while. Best take supplies. You perch precariously on the edge of the vast eye. The fluke quakes. Its flesh ruptures, releasing spurts of caustic vapors. This close, your skysuit cannot entirely protect you. When you finish coughing, the dizziness is overwhelming. You can smell the fluke's dying wishes are ravaged by its regrets. The search it leaves incomplete. Its fear that the search is impossible and will never end. The jagged, excruciating recollections of being outcast, and the certainty that only the outcast have a chance of success. Eventually, an engineer works their way from your engine to help you back. Once you're through the external hatch, a stoker wordlessly passes you a cup of tea. You have felt a Scornfluke's tormented musics. Interesting. We've got a nice little side plot with each Scornfluke we kill. So they're outcasts, but only outcasts can succeed? Interesting. I wonder what it is they're trying to fix. What it is what they are outcast from. Are Scornflukes like, what is it, like, what is it, sponges or coral or something that are like multi-organism, all working together sort of thingamabobs? I don't want to use that. Ooh, we can get tea. The fogs. Join the Song of the Mists. Hey, an otherworldly artifact. So it is... Oh, it's... Ooh, with each crate I can get in. I thought it was going to take multiples. Alright, so I think the last one we did was skirt. So we're down to just the fabulous footwear. Of all the finery on display, the footwear is probably the most avant-garde, with fashions that border on ludicrous. Exciting. It's the courtier who goes to his knees, latticing your foot between his long fingers. In the frame of his black-on-black eyes, your reflection is that of a stranger's, wild and otherworldly. Personal touch is all he says. The couturier does not permit you to rise, nor does he allow you to pick your shoes. Instead, he ferries you options to sift through. High heels, sensible clogs, equestrian boots in the softest leather, open-toed slippers, sandals teased together from gold wires. When he is finally satisfied, he considers you for a long moment. Turns to a wardrobe and hands you several garments, all your size. Once you're dressed, he dismisses you, shooing you into brewery juxta mare. Ooh. This will give me 5 caddies of dried tea. Oh, shit. Oh, no. I didn't pay attention to things. The proprietor is happy to chat while your crew load up the caddies. Even time for a brew after the stoker drops one and another has to be located. The seller is very keen on this particular blend of tea, she tells you. Make the mistake of inquiring as to why. Apparently there's a lot that can be squeezed from a squirming. This is a problem I'm going to have to deal with eventually. Alright, we'll write a port report. I don't want to use the Savage Secret. We need to find the most important part of visiting Brewery Juxta Mare. So, alright, so we need to do that. And then, there we go! Robbery lumps! Robbery lumps! It tastes precisely as advertised. Hot, rubbery, faintly sweet, with a dashing of mirin and brown sugar. An aftertaste reminiscent of roasted berries, like memories of better days. Graze on a palmful of lumps before you put the rest away. Love me some lumps. Some lovely rubbery lumps. Check it out. Alright, so we just need to get rid of our terror. Alright, so what happens if I succeed on this? Because I think I've already done it before. Yes, I have. Ooh, we got even more tea and a vision of the heavens. And we gain terror. I hate that. Alright, so let's leave. And then immediately go back in. Alright, so we have a whole bunch of tea filling up our hold. So I kind of have to use all of the crockery while we're here. Alright, we've seen all of these. So now I'm just going to click on through. Tiny lane decked with shops. Cool. Hey, it's a path to the beach. Turn to the arcade. Wander. Tea room. Succumb to the rubbery lumps. Succumb to the rubbery lumps. Leave swiftly. And then we do another round. Oh, I'm gonna have to dump a bunch of stuff over. Or I guess maybe just sell a bunch before I disembark. That's frustrating. I hate when that happens. Just walk down the beach. Cool. Walk down the beach. Cool. Oh, go dipping in the sea. The most adventurous of pursuits. A dip into the mists of Worldbridge Extamare. It'll ruin your clothes, but sacrifices must be made. You're lowered into the mists, a rope around your waist. If it kicks up a fuss, just kick it in the face a few times. You'll be fine. Wait, what was that he said? The mists tickle. You paddle listlessly through the depths, breathing in the candy sweet. This is really quite pleasant. Okay. So we are full. I can't sell anything, so I have to dump shit. That's a bugger. So let's get rid of the crockery first. Hours second. All right, so now let's head to Purduance. Actually, no, let's go to Skyhenge and then Purduance. While I have no terror, I want to see what's over here. There is something. Sky story for a vision of the heavens. Sure. Oh, this is St. Anthony's Lighthouse. The lighthouse looms out of the mists like a pale candle. Its light burns a searing path, breaking through the wispy serrations of the fog. A single platform clings to the lighthouse, allowing for engines to dock. The upper gantry hangs far above it, like a sentinel. A pair of elderly keepers maintain the tower. They permit guests to use their converted fuel house. There's not much of the generosity. Okay, so this is a place I bring the squirmings to be catches. Let's go ahead and take tea with the keepers. The other keeper is on his break, Wellington booted feet draped over the mildewy couch. When he sees your crew carrying in a caddy, he smiles, revealing 2 rows of stubs where teeth once were. The lugubrious. What does that word mean? I have never seen that before. Lugubrious. Damn it! Turn that off. Looking or sounding sad and dismal. Noted. Lugubrious keeper appears, frowning, drawn by the rattling of stained crockery. Grudgingly, he sits and permits the other keeper to serve him tea in a chipped cup. They drink in resentful silence. You must visit again. The lugubrious keeper eventually spits out, indicating the door. The keepers are now aware of you. Dun dun dun. Interesting that this is considered a place of terror. Yes, yes, violins. I hear you, I hear you. Its clearance is outcropping. It's fascinating how this entire area kind of looks like a spooky, mysterious stone ruin. But, you know, it's all up in space. Scornfluke! I must listen to you. I wish to hear your song. Tell me of your troubles, Scornfluke. Bless me with your knowledge. Okay. We're doing good. We're doing good. Shit! Oh, we barely dodged that one. Oh, oh, okay. I thought for sure we were in the AoE. Okay. What do we got now? All right, let's continue communing. All right, so same text as last time. We've got 13 now. Okay, we are getting dangerously low on supplies. Fuck. Is that sells fuel supplies? Time to visit the hengiest henge that ever henged. All right. Let's whisper to the tallest stone. You lean your head against the cold rock and murmur a tale of adventure to a hollow in the stone. It doesn't take long. You pull back from the menhir. The air hangs still. Someone swears. A stranger staggers towards you from between 2 stones. Their clothes are outdated, the fashion several years old. They head towards you, but you're not the captain they expected. The new arrival is eager to board your locomotive. Will take any role just to get away. Oops. All right, step inside the ring of stones. Give the translucent beings a barrel, and they give me 2 casks of Navarine gemstones. All right, so that seems like to be a consistent way of getting the Navarine gemstones. Because it had a date marker, we probably can only go there every few, like every 15 or so days. I need you to fuck off. Leave me alone. We gonna be are we gonna be doing this? Huh? Is this what's going on? That's what I thought. That's what I thought. All right, we'll take a bit of a risk. Get you pursuance, and then to floating parliament, we can resupply. The young incognito princess looks smug. My mother chooses who comes here and who stays. All right. Time to break someone out. Ooh, immaculate souls. Those are expensive. We'll get 3 for now, just in case something pops into my inventory from doing all this. Ooh, let's exchange some good gossip. Write ourselves a port report, and then stand for parliament and pursuance. Hey! The votes are in. An angry lady in a silken gown harumphs at her defeat. Her charismatic gentleman makes all the right sympathetic noises until finding out that he too has been defeated. You wait for your name to be called out. Sure enough, the people chose well. To a smattering of applause from the handful of public who bothered to show up and vote, you rise from your chair and to take your destiny. Accept your new role with grace. Accept your new role without any grace whatsoever. Let's accept it with grace. We can now pass bills in Parliament. Ooh. I will surely not use this ability for chaos. Okay, so we need to go in. And we need to find the presumptuous heiress. Perhaps with sufficiently enticing gossip, we can coax her identity from another debutante. A laconic popinjay listens avidly to your scandalous story, then inclines his fan toward a young lady leaning on the grand piano. That's her. Her mass of dark brown curls is set off with a spray of curving blue-black feathers, so high they scrape the low ceiling. She is talking to the pianist, a lady of comparable build with similar brown curls, an identical chin, and matching eyes. They could be sisters. Oh. Apparently the macabre counselor has 2 daughters. She said nothing of this. No doubt it will prove to be a complication. There are too many people nearby to speak with either sister discreetly, but in the evening there will be a ball. Perhaps you'll have a chance then? I see. Alright, so in the afternoon, we are going to charm a servant and fail. It works, but all too well. 3 servants collide in their haste, pouring wine into your glass, onto the table, and mostly into your lap. Oof, we got drenched. You're now a wet serpent. All right, now that we are in the evening with the ball, we need to dance with... She favors the polka? Hell yeah! I'm now imagining going on at this fancy ball with all these rich, elegant people, and then we have like Weird Al blasting on the speakers. The presumptuous heiress is everything you expected in a dance partner. Demanding, joyful, and a touch too exuberant for propriety. Her attention is only partially on you, and only very peripherally on the steps of the dance. Instead, she waves at friends across the ballroom and whispers snatches of conversation as they pass by. Between mincing steps interspersed with quick turns and double time, you manage to ask her questions. To ask about her mother's commission. For all her frivolity, the presumptuous heiress can summon a thunderous frown when the moment demands it. Leave without my poor, luckless sister? Never heard such base cowardice. She continues for some time, casting imprecations on her mother, her plan, and your own involvement. The idea is lacquated at the extreme, even for Mama. I would rather rot here. She plucks a crédité from a passing silver platter and looks for a servant to refill her champagne. As expected, a complication. The macabre counselor told you she had an agent in position at Purduance to assist you. Better find them and seek advice. Hey, Pokemon. Oh, come on by. You hate dry air? Oof. Yeah. Spent a lot of time inside a restaurant's refrigeration unit, so very dry air is unpleasant. Let's take a spin with the luckless sister. Schnoz hasn't stopped bleeding. Oh no! That shouldn't be bleeding that long. That's kind of concerning. Sure, slow drip, but I figure it should still clot after a decent while. Although, heck, I've heard there's people who get their noses cauterized exactly to stop that kind of stuff. But I think it's people who have, like, severe, consistent nosebleed issues. The luckless sister is light on her feet, with a graceful tread. Her curls escape her pins as she twirls, gleaming a dark bronze in the gaslight. She looks very much like her sister as she dances, the occasional anxious line in her face smoothing over with the abandon of youth. Still, there is a watchfulness about her, even as you clasp hands and smile. You must seize your moments for speech. Somehow, you contrive. Let's ask about her family. The luckless sister is thoughtful where her sister is pleasingly frivolous, and considered when her sister is untroubled. You gently steer the conversation in the direction of her sister, probing for resentments or jealousies. You find none. It is only when you mention the matter of mothers that the luckless sister's quiet charm falters. The one true pleasure of this awful place is that I will likely never see her again. Awful place? You look around at the laughing dancers in their shimmering finery, at the crystal decanters dark with wine, the windows' evening blaze caught and refracted in the shining chandeliers. Alright, let's explain the mother's commission. Would she perhaps be willing to convince her sister to leave Purduance with us tonight? The luckless sister's laugh startles a nearby chaperone. It gives you a stern look, no doubt suspecting you of nefarious levities. Once her amusement subsides, she refuses. If I were truly thought that it would be best for my sister, I would help you. My mother would only entangle her in schemes and plots. My sister is ill-suited to a life of intrigue and suspicion. She is not surprised that her mother would abandon her here, nor does she seem inclined to aid you. You'll need some form of leverage. Cause you incapable of plotting. Oh no, I'm sorry, Pokemon. Hopefully things stop being so irritating. I don't think ducking your head in a bunch of water will reverse how dry the ambience is, but I mean, I don't know. I certainly wonder if like you had like a humidifier like pointing right at you, if that would make a difference. I only have a dehumidifier, or I've only ever had dehumidifiers. All right, so we've been with both sisters. We need to find the chaperone. Okay, our time in Purduance is at an end. Chaperone taps me on the shoulder. We get some gossip and experience. We lose some terror. Go back into Purduance because we need to find our counselor's agent. You drift nonchalantly about the room, observing and eavesdropping. At last, you come to a small corner table where one of the chaperones, a clairvoyant doctress, is shuffling tarot cards. The back of the cards bears a distinctive, familiar pattern, the seal of the macabre counselor. You give the doctress the slightest of nods. She winks back. Please sit, she bids. Let me part the veil twixt present and future for you. The ominous tones are perhaps taking it a bit too far. Just need to sleep like a bat to avoid it, but then it gets... Yikes. Although it would be kind of metal to have tears of blood. It'd be kind of like that one reptile that shoots blood out of its eyes, which is an interesting defense mechanism to have developed. She is wearing modish fashions, but without any adherence to society's opinions regarding color or pattern. Paisley's in magenta layer stripes of emerald and indigo. Her hair is a mousy color, her eyes unremarkable. Her face is a pleasing brown, but not particularly distinguished. The overall impression she gives is one of dazzling color and clashing patterns. A deliberate misdirection? She draws gruesomely hand-painted cards and lumpen crystals from a clinking beaded reticule, and constantly smoking cigars. Alright, let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. Your promised help? Well, here it is. The clairvoyant doctress tosses the edge of her floral embroidered capelet and runs a hand down an equally elaborate bodice. I'm to be the heiress's replacement. We'll swap clothes and perhaps a few other items. No one will know to look for her because she'll still be here. Clever, yes? Perhaps her skepticism shows. She grins. You think we don't look alike? Allow me to reassure you. That is a temporary inconvenience. I'll worry about that. You worry about finding an escape route. I'd recommend gossiping with the debutantes, chaperones, and servants. Every cage, no matter how gilded, has a hatch through which someone can remove the ship. You mentioned the complication of the surplus sister, and that the heiress refuses to leave without her. Quite. Is our employer forgetful, or do you think... Is our employer forgetful, do you think, or manipulative? It doesn't matter, of course. We were paid for a single sister, and I can't split myself in two. You'll just have to convince the Mrs. Macabre to separate, won't you? So, we can only get one of them out. And we need to figure out a way to smuggle them out. Presumptuous won't leave without her luckless sister. Luckless sister doesn't want to leave, but won't help because she knows the presumptuous heiress is not fit for intrigue. And the 1 year OC is based on me. I mean, that does make sense in hindsight. I just always forget what that lizard's name is. Well, let's get to know her a bit. Never you mind about that. Just stick to the plan. It'll be right and tight. The clairvoyant doctress yawns elaborately and dismisses you with the majesty of a dowager duchess. What's that smell in her breath under the bitterness of cigars? Candle wax? That can't be right. What if I try to get to know her again? From time to time, the Duchess of Dusk's... Oh, nope. That's the normal cycle stuff. The Australian horned devil is the same species, but different variation adapted. I'm not surprised Australia has its own flavor. Australia tends to have some pretty metal creatures native there. Why is she fixed on the candelabra? She's... Okay. What if I get to know her? Let's gossip with the chaperones. Wine loosens their tongues. The older of the macabre counselor's daughters was, until recently, engaged in an affair with the fuliginous forewoman below stairs, a woman lacking social status or connections. You point out the regimentation of each cycle. How could the luckless sister possibly slip away to an assignation? The chaperones indicate the nearby dumbwaiter, built to carry hot food and dirty dishes from below stairs. A concealed door in the morning room apparently serves a similar purpose. Next time you visit, perhaps you should take a little look below stairs. An occurrence! Your secret staircase's quality is now 10! You lurking? No problem. Thanks for stopping on by, Pokemon. And I hope if you don't stop by later, you have a rejuvenating, restful eep. Without the bloodful complications. Gossip with the debutantes. The debutantes tell you of the governesses, the Empress's agents who wear oval masks of featureless obsidian. They're only glimpsed in the passages between morning and afternoon, between afternoon and evening, between evening and dusk, possibly dawn. You hear stories of disappearances and secret tribunals, of interrogations and re-education. A court that lies beneath the court. There are hidden hatches in the passages, the doors of night. The governesses use them to remove those of us whose family displeases Her Majesty. You wonder whether you can make a certain sister vanish in the same manner. After evening would be best. Let's try and find one of those secret tunnels. Music ends, the dancing dies, the lights dim. The chaperones, like patient sheepdogs, herd the debutantes together. The door from evening opens onto a lightless passage. As ever, the debutantes gossip and giggle, using merriment as their shield against the gloom and the faceless figures it might hold. This time, as you pass along the corridor, you turn your eyes from the candles to preserve your night vision. You ignore the procession and study the dark. There! A cloaked figure in a featureless obsidian mask emerges from an unseen door. They glide along the procession, looking intently into each person's face. The debutantes look away, a touch of hysteria creeping into their jollity. You search the walls where the governesses appeared, finding the crack of a closed door and the hidden catch that opens it. This is the escape route you need to squirrel one of the sisters away. On a future evening in Purduance, when all else is in place, you'll be able to make use of this. Debutante veers away at the last moment. Ah, because if I didn't make an impression on either person. Okay, so let's go in for a third round. Let's go below stairs. The areas below stairs are part like the kitchen of a grand country house, and part like a factory floor. Rude. The areas below stairs are part like the kitchen of a grand country grand country house. Why am I stumbling on that word? The kitchen of a grand country house and part like that of a factory floor. Cooks prepare food in enormous pots. Servants appear with empty plates to be scraped off and cleaned, even while others carry steaming dishes upstairs. Further back are rows upon rows of hour looms, each tended by weavers with their hair pinned tightly back. The heat of the cooking combines with the shudder of machinery in pandemonium. Let's talk to the Felignius forewoman. She's an impressive sight, presiding over the din with a palm and a rolling pin. The forewoman's waistcoat is dark and tightly buttoned. Beneath it, a corset strives gallantly against her ample figure. Her skirt is hitched up over a pair of soot-stained trousers and ankle boots. Strings of glass beads glitter at her throat, casting dazzles over her rich ochre skin as she bellows orders, sending workers scurrying from this loom to that. She turns to you. Her eyes are lined with pitch, grime, or cosmetic affection. Ask her about the luckless sister. Inquiring about illicit love affairs almost always goes well. You've only been slapped twice. Well, thrice. The Felignius forewoman's expression turns hard in an instant. Them's above been talking, have they? Snide little gossips. Is the only one of them worth anything? She sounds remarkably affectionate as she warms to her subject. Perhaps it was the luckless sister who broke off their affair. Nah, it was me. The forewoman admits miserably. Her face spasms for a moment. She draws out a handkerchief from her corset and coughs heartily into it. She shoves the handkerchief in her pocket, but not before you notice a violet stain on the fabric. Aha. What about that handkerchief? Saw that, did you? I traveled before I was a forewoman. On my journeys, I was exposed to certain spores. They colonize both my lungs and my thoughts, and are part of something old and vast. They wake impulses in me, the last and latest of which was to bring them home. I've denied them as long as I can. I must leave soon. She looks away. Why I broke off the affair. Better to do it like that than to sneak off in the middle of the night. Thought about asking her to leave with me. Us. It doesn't mean abandoning her sister. What if the spores colonized her too? But maybe... No use worrying about them maybes. So I wonder if we can get the presumptuous heiress back to her mother so that the luckless doesn't need to stay and then can go with her one true love, the Felignius forewoman. As far as the spores, that sounds like the similar spores that our reckless driver has.